Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Dior, and this is Arkham Horror, the card game, the Path of Carcosa, and we're going to be doing the final scenario, Dim Carcosa. All right, we had quite a struggle, but we managed to get to this point. My prediction is I'm probably not going to win. The thing that's probably, we have really nasty weaknesses that will really cripple us at this point. If Min gets stupor, that will pretty much kill my tempo. And if Zoe picks up her freaking nightmare monster thing, that's gonna also stall me further. And if I get it when Min's not ready, it's just gonna be bad all around. So we're just gonna have to hope. Okay, so if you open the path below, which we did, intro 1. You swim to the edge of the water and throw yourself upon the rocky shore, gasping for air. You lie there for some time, utterly exhausted. Every muscle in your body aches before you lies a desolate expanse of plain. In the distance, the alien spires of a warped city rise into the clouds behind you. The dark surface of the lake from which you'd emerged reflects the glare of two suns. When you peer back into the murky depths, you see no sign of the chapel where you'd make the leap, or of Mont Saint Michel, or even of Earth. This is Carcosa, the realm of madness in the stars, where he who shall not be named reigns supreme. Actually, before we start, I'm going to go ahead and change one thing I purchased with Min. Be right back. Okay. So what I did, I'm going to replace Brute Force, or instead of taking Brute Force, I'm going to go ahead and take Earthly Serenity. I'll still replace the same card. I'll replace the Overpower. So what this will do is I can do a will test and try to, every point I succeed by it, I can spend the charge to essentially heal a damage or horror. It's not much, but it's at least something I can heal horror. And that'll be the plan. Okay. Because at least then I have a solution for stupor. Okay, gather cards for setup, check campaign log, depending on the following circumstances, a different version, blah, blah, blah. If you have 5 or less total doubt and conviction, use Act 2, search for the stranger. I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 9 doubt and conviction. If you have 6 or more doubt and conviction, and you have more doubt than conviction, use Act 2, search for the stranger version 2. If you have, then you have more conviction, we're going to go with search for the stranger version 3. Okay. Okay. Search. All right. Version 3. So that should be correct. Yeah, Act Deck 6 plus total, more conviction than doubt. Yep, that is correct. We have that. I don't think I've ever had this version result either. I think in my previous run, I didn't. I think I had the 5. I don't remember. Anyway, randomly put 1 copy of Bleak Plains, 1 copy of Dim Streets, 1 copy of Ruins of Carcosa, and 1 copy of Depths of Dim into play. Okay. Shuffle each of the 4 location files randomly and put 1 to play and set the remaining copies aside out of play. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit shuffle and take 1 of these. So, oh, okay, I see. That's incorrect. This is what we were supposed to be doing. All right. Oop, didn't mean to do that. All right. Bleak Plains. Just gonna put that over there. Ruins of Carcosa and 1 Depths of Dim. Okay. So all I'm doing is hitting shuffle. I'm not actually seeing what card is being pulled. Or I can't read the text from here anyway. So each copy of blah, blah, blah. Aside out of play, that's fine. Depths of Dim. Oh. Okay. Next. Bleak Plains And then last one's what? Dim Street? Yep, Dim Street. Okay, we got that going for us. The recommended setup for this is Bleak Plains down here. This over here. And that there. Got it. Okay, put Shores of Halley, Dark Spires, and Palace of the King into play. Shores of Halley on the bottom. Yep. Dark Spires. And Palace of the King goes in the middle. Okay, I believe we got everything. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yep, we got everything. Okay. Oh yeah, the Man in the Pallid Mask has been set aside again. I might have to go and grab him again because I don't know where he went. All right. So what we got? All right. Set the fallen cards aside out of play. Okay, all those people. Check the number of tally marks under Chasing the Stranger in the campaign log. If there are 6 to 8, which I have 7, add 1 Doom to Agenda 1A. Each investigator takes direct horror equal to half their sanity, rounded down, cannot be prevented. This horror cannot cause you to become defeated. All right, so each of us will take half our sanity. Was it rounded down? Rounded down, cannot be prevented. All right, can't be defeated because of this. This horror cannot cause you to become defeated. Shuffle the remainder of counter cards into to build the encounter deck. Locations in Dim Carcosa. Each location in the scenario has no unrevealed side, and therefore interplay with their revealed side face up. Instead of an unrevealed side, these locations have story cards on the reverse side. Whenever, and then you always put the clues on them. And then sanity. During this scenario, investigators are not defeated when they have horror on them equal to or greater than their sanity. Investigators may continue to take horror in excess. While an investigator has more horror on them than sanity, the remaining sanity is considered to be 0. All right. Here goes nothing. We got counter deck. We've taken care of the act decks and all this nonsense. Just throw this in here. All right. So we start with 1 Doom. Agenda 1A, Madness Coils, and now far away over leagues of tossing cloud waves, I saw the moon dripping with spray, and beyond, the towers of Carcosa rose behind the moon. He who cannot be named, cannot be defeated. If there are 9 damage on he who cannot be named, advance this agenda. All right. In Lost Carcosa, you have opened the path of Carcosa in order to stop those who wish to be free. He who shall not be named from his prison in the stars. Only you can put an end to this madness. When the investigators have collected the requisite number of clues, they must immediately spend them in advance. We need 4. All right. -2 skull for the skull. -4 if you have no sanity remaining. So that's -4 for Zoe already. Cultists, reveal another token. If you fail, take 1 horror. And then for the tablet, -3 if you fail, and he who shall not be named is in play, place a clue on your location from the token bank. And then Elder Thing, -3 if this token is revealed during an attack or an evasion attempt against a monster or ancient one enemy, lose 1 action. Thankfully, we only have tablets and skulls and cultists. All right, I believe we start in Shores of Halley. That's where we start. We start in Shores of Halley because we're the path below. Like so. All right. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Oh, our resources need to reset, and so do our stats. Okay. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Discard. Draw. Okay, I can live with all that. Get rid of the skill cards for now. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have that active. That's something I can at least work with. All right, next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't need both of these. Don't need that. Don't need that. We can hold on to that. 1, 2, 3. Not the best start, but it'll do. Okay, and with that we can begin. Shores of Halley, Otherworld. Along the shore the cloud waves break, the twin suns sink behind the lake, the shadows lengthen in Carcosa. Alright, let's begin. We're going to start with let's go ahead and start with we'll start with Zoe. We're going to open with spending 3 and get the enchanting blade out. And then I'm going to, that's my first action. Second action, I'll go ahead and get the mercy cash out. Get 3 resources and draw a card. Okay. And then last action, I'm going to go ahead and get out the beat cop. Alright. Men. Cryptic research. 1, 2, 3. Good start. Let's go ahead and investigate. We're currently 4 to 3. So we'll make it 7 to 3, and we'll make it 8 to 3. It's -2 because I still have sanity remaining, so I get 2 clues. Alright, investigate again. Same situation. Well, actually not same. It's going to be 7 to 3 this time. Alright, we pass, and we get 2 more clues. Alright. Need to read something here. Each look at it instead. Okay, nothing there. Oh, I have to immediately advance. I already have enough clues. Just realized that. Yep. Boop. His final bow. A shadow creeps along the wall beside you, and your heart leaps into your throat. You turn, and a figure flits away just out of sight. Either your mind is playing tricks on you, or someone else is in the theater. You follow the direction of the shadow, rounding out a nearby corner. At the far end of the hall, he stands awaiting you, the man who wears the pallid mask, the stranger whose steps you have haunted for so many weeks. You remember that you have been here before. The theater dissolves around you. The bright glare of 2 suns pierced into your eyes from above. Do you remember now? Yes, he turns and vanishes into the aether, as if taunting you to follow. Spawn the set-aside man in the pallid mask enemy at the palace of the king. Alright, I need to go deal with that, so BRB. Alright, he has spawned. Alright, search for the stranger. Version 3. It is time to finally confront the stranger and learn the truth about his identity once and for all. Each investigator cannot discover clues. The man in the pallid mask cannot be defeated except by damage. And when the man in the pallid mask would be defeated by damage, advance. So we gotta go beat him up. And he's all the way up there. Okie dokie. Let's, final action, I'm going to go ahead and draw a card and regret my decisions. Okay, that's fine. Gumption. Next. That's everybody. Alright, upkeep. Enemy is not going to do anything. Okay. That's not terrible. Mythos. Doom. Did I shuffle? I'm going to make sure. I don't remember if I actually shuffled or not. I didn't see what it was, so I don't know what it was. Alright. Dissonant voices. I have no way to stop it. Spawns on you. You'll get 1 resource for that. Okay. Let's go ahead and get going, I suppose. We're going to go ahead and we'll have Zoe go first. Zoe is going to go ahead and attack. Currently, she would be 6 to 4. So we could make it 8 to 4, 10 to 4. We succeed. We're going to do 3. We'll do 3, and then we'll use this to do 4. So 4 damage will kill it, and I'll go ahead and heal a horror. So skulls are no longer super bad. Draw a card. Okay, Runic Axe. We can work with that. So that was first action. Second action, we're going to go ahead and get moving. While you're in the Bleak Plains, you cannot play ally assets, but you can still have them out. On every side of me stretched a bleak, desolate expanse of plains, covered with a tall overgrowth of sere grass, which rustled and whistled in the autumn wind. Okay, and then we'll move you up to here. Okay. Ruins of Carcosa. After you discover the last remaining clue on Ruins of Carcosa, take 1 damage. So old seemed these relics, these vestiges of vanity and memorials of affection and piety, so battered and worn and stained. Okay, that is all of our actions. And I believe, yeah, we can't get clues, right? Yep, cannot get clues right now. So let's go ahead and get moving. 1 and 2. Actually, yeah, we'll just do 1 and 2. And I'll go ahead and just, I can't play anything, so I'll just gain a resource. Alright, goes to upkeep again. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, this gets discarded finally. Mythos, we're now up to 3. Frozen Fear, not the end of the world there. Dismal Curse, test 3 brain. If you have no remaining sanity, this test gets +2 difficulty. If you fail, take 2 damage. 4 damage instead if you have horror on you greater than twice your sanity. Well, thankfully, we're not in that state anymore. Okay, so currently I'm 4 to 3. Any type of skill test. Min will go ahead and commit Eureka to make that 5 to 3, and then use her ability to make it. Let's see, commit cards. It'll be her skill, so it'll be this. Okay. After investigating, yep. Okay, so this will bring it up to 6 to 3. All right, thank God we did, because this was a -3. Yes, it was. So we pass. You get to look at top 3. Just take the overpower. Actually, take the stand together. Why not? You can use that for committing. All right. Then we go to turns. Let's go ahead and have Zoe move. This thing only has 3 health. So Zoe will move in. I'm going to go ahead and exhaust this and do 1 damage to him to do 1 damage to the aloof guy. And then I'm going to engage him and get a resource out of that and then attack him. Alright, I'm currently 6 to 4. Yeah, that's kind of it. I'm 6-4. All right, that's -2, right? Yep, because I have sanity remaining again. So I will use the charge here, and I will defeat him, which will of course give. I'll go ahead and heal a horror again. All right, so would be defeated by damage of dance. The disguise is laid aside. Spawn to set aside. He who shall not be named. The Lord of Carcosa. Enemy at the man in the pallid mask location. Remove him from the game. I don't know if it counts as defeated or not, but I'm going to take it. All right. The King in Tatters. Yeah. The King in Tatters. I heard the King in Yellow whispering in my soul. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. If there are no clues on your location, as lightning bolt action, you can remove each investigator's clues from the game, flip your location over, and resolve the text on the other side. If he who shall not be named is defeated, advance. Okay, well, we need to first spawn him. Which one we're spawning? Lord of Carcosa. There are different versions. So he has 18 health, 3 fight, 3 evasion. Hunter, massive. If attack deals you horror in excess of your sanity, you take 1 damage as well. While he is being attacked or evaded by an investigator with no remaining sanities, treat pretty much nearly all the tokens as auto fails. Because of course. And he hits for 2 sanity. So that will be interesting. All right. Let's go ahead and go with we'll go with men next, I guess. So I can actually go back to the Shores of Holly and flip that over if we need to. And then here, the Palace of the King cannot be flipped over unless Oh my gosh, I actually checked the recording to make sure I didn't say his name. Okay. Yeah, so we need to get 10 clues on him, which I don't know how that's going to work, because it doesn't look like we have anything that actually tells us that. So it is what it is. Okay, so in that case, let's just do what we can here. We'll start with... it's not going to be Minty Fan's turn. I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 resources and fast play all the Onyxes and get my pendant. And then with this pendant, this version is not tabooed, so I'm going to go ahead and exhaust it as a lightning bolt and exhaust him. All right. Oh yeah, I didn't read this place. I pray God will curse the writer as the writer has to curse the world with this beautiful, stupendous creation, terrible in its simplicity, irresistible in its truth. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and investigate the location I'm in. Yeah, I'll go ahead and investigate the location I'm in. I'm going to go ahead and use... What's the difficulty? 2? Let's go ahead and make it 5. 5 to 2. We succeed. We can look at top 3 and pick one. I will pick that one. Okay. Next, I'm going to spend 2 resources and get out the laboratory assistant, which will get me 2. I shuffled, but yet I still got that card on top. Okay, and then last action, I am going to go ahead and investigate one more time. We'll do a... Actually, for the last action, I'm going to go ahead and just get out the Earthly Serenity. We'll call it good for now. I'm going to do a Brain 3 test. I'm currently 4 to 3. It's unfortunately a fail. Place 1 clue on your location from the token bank. Okay. That's annoying, but not the end of the world. Okay, as far as I can tell, this thing does not have any way of readying like the other Elder Agent one we fought, so we're actually kind of okay, as long as we can keep him at bay. So he will do that, though, and get out of trouble. Let's go ahead and upkeep. Upkeep. Alright, good to go. Mythos, we're at 4. Spawns here. Yellow sign, it's a 4 brain test. If you fail, take 2 horror and search for your madness and draw it. Okay. Let's take the initiative, and I'll make it 7-4. And we pass. Okay. Let's get to work then. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and pop the pendant and exhaust him, because we don't want to deal with him right now. Alright, next I'm going to go ahead and evade the spawn of Holly, which apparently doesn't have Hunter, which surprises me. So I'm going to use Gumption. Provides no symbols, but it reduces difficulty by 2, so it's difficulty 0. So 2-0. We do pass 0-0. Actually, essentially, if you reduce the difficulty down to 0, it pretty much becomes an auto pass unless you draw the auto fail. So we're good to go on that. You are now evaded. That was first action. Actually, that takes 2 actions. So I'm going to go ahead and move for my final action just to get out of there. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and get out of here with Zoe. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move here. Oop. I'm going to move down to here and then play the safeguard. Okay. Oh, also I need to do Frozen in Fear again. I actually am going to go ahead and do True Understanding and then use my ability on top of that. So it's going to be 6-3. I pass, it gets removed, and I get a clue from here. Also, Earthly Serenity sort of cost me an extra resource, so I did have enough though. Okay, that takes care of all of that. Enemies are going to become unexhausted. We'll do some upkeeping. Okay, I can work with that. Mythos. We're surviving, but we're not making much progress. Discard cards from your play area and or hand with a total printed resource cost of at least X. X is the amount of horror on your investigator. If no cards are discarded by this effect, take 2. Well, that'll be all of these then. Yeah, it's going to be all of it. Oh, or from your hand. Okay. I can't choose this, but things in my hand do have increased cost. So let's get rid of this one and this one. I still have to discard both regardless, and I'm not going to discard things that are in play. But Stranger still is Lost Carcosa. Yeah, you telling me. Alright, I do lose an action, and it does surge. Depths of Dim, massive. When creature out of Dem's location or a connecting location is flipped over, if creature out of Dem is ready, it attacks each investigator at that location. So Depths of Dim, that is up there. So location or connecting location. Got it. 5 attack, 4 health, 2 evade, and does 1 and 1. Okay, with all that said, let's go ahead and continue. First, I'm going to go ahead and spend an action to investigate this location. I'm currently 4-4. We're going to go ahead and make this 7-4. And we'll go ahead and make it 8-4. Okay, that is a pass. That ended up being 6-4. Or sorry, I did 7, 8. Yeah, it was 8-4, and I got a -1, so I beat it by 2 or more. So I draw 2 cards. 1, 2. I am going to go ahead and gain a resource, and then I will spend 2 resources to go ahead and play Strange Solution. Oh, also, I should have gotten a clue here, by the way, because I just finished investigating it. So this might change something. I can't see it. There it is. This Bleak Desolation. This world is but a remnant of what it once was. The grand majesty of Carcosa, spoken of in The King in Yellow, is lost in this expanse of endless desolation. Dead, twisted trees, starving animals, and barren fields greet you everywhere you turn. You begin to look for evidence of what might have caused such devastation. Across the lake, you see dark, twisted structures similar to those in Carcosa. As at least one appears as large and as grand as he who shall not be named's domain. You wonder if perhaps some kind of conflict took place between the two cities. Deal 4 clues. Sorry, 4 damage to he who shall not be named. Okay, so he takes 4 damage. So he has 14 health to go. Flip this card back over for the remainder of the game. It cannot be flipped over again. Okay. We'll put a token to show that it's happened. All right, not bad. And as far as I can tell, you can just beat this guy up. What happens if you beat him up? Like, really, what happens when you beat him up? Oh, he can't be defeated. But if there's at least 9 damage on him, 6 damage on him, you can advance. Okay, well, that's good to know, I suppose. We'll go ahead and go with Zoe next. Oh yeah, she lost an action. That's what happened earlier. I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 resources to get out something worth fighting for. Then I'm going to go ahead and do Stand Together. So both of them will get 2 resources. Okay. Enemy phase. He's going to move over. Upkeep. Okay. Runic X. Do you have Retaliate? Nope, just 100 Massive. Okay. Alright, let's go to Mythos. So it's going to advance one way or the other. So if we are going to advance it, I would like it to be on my terms. Draw. Ooh, hidden card. Whispers in your head, dismay. Cannot commit skill cards. Okay, well, I know what I'm going to be doing this turn. And then for you, possession, traitorous. Secretly add it to your hand. If you have horror on you greater than twice your sanity, you are immediately eliminated and killed. You may commit this card to a skill test at your location. The test automatically fails. Okay. Alrighty then. So what we're going to do... I'm going to start with... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start with men. We're going to go ahead and spend 2 actions to get rid of this. Actually, do we need to do that right now? I think we don't. I mean, it's going to be a little dangerous. But we might be able to do something with this. We'll wait. We'll deal with we'll do Zoe first. So I think what we need to do I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 resources to go ahead and get out the Runic Axe. That's first action. Second action, I'm going to go ahead and use a charge. It doesn't really matter which one I do. I'm going to do Power and Hunt, just so I can get over here and attack him. I'm going to go ahead and commit this possession, so it gets discarded. It auto-fails. And then my last action, I'm going to go ahead and hit this person as hard as I can. 1-2 punch. I'm going to commit stunning. So even though it's an automatic success, I can still commit cards to it. I'm going to commit a stunning blow to this. So the first hit's going to automatically hit. It's going to do 2 damage and stun him. We now have met the requirement to advance, so we're going to go ahead and advance this. Key to the turning a corner, you nearly bump into a nurse with light brown hair and sharp features. You tell her about the violent patients and the strange things you've seen, but she doesn't listen. When you inquire about Daniel, she informs you that he is a friend of the king and that he resides in the palace. The investigators must decide. Any investigator tests brain forward to snap out of it. If successful, advance the agenda to A. If you fail, you must choose an option you haven't done before. Okay. And then... Alright. We can do the 4 brain test. It's not a big deal. I actually don't have any other options besides that. Yeah, I can't play anything. Yeah, we'll just put in the Spectral Razor and pray. We are 5-4 for the brain test. Nope, not good enough. Unfortunately, men can't help. Alright, what other option? I kind of want to just put Doom on it. Okay, I see what we have to do. I misread this. It said I thought clues, but it's actually damage. So if we can get men over there, we can actually start doing the work there. Oh, also, so yeah, we still need to resolve this. Let's just put 1 Doom on it because it's going to advance soon anyway. Yeah, I have to choose another option. I can't pass the book test, and I'm not going to take the horror because that's going to be bad. All right, I still have the second part of 1-2 punch to go through. I'm currently, 8-4 now because this thing is +1 fight. So 8-4. We pass, and it's going to do 3 damage to him. All right, and then I still need to read what this is. Madness rounds. I thought too of the king of yellow wrapped in the fantastic colors of his tattered mantle, and that bitter cry of Casilda, not upon us, O king, not upon us. He shall not be gained, gets +1 fight, cannot be defeated, and once we hit 10 damage on him, advance the agenda. All right, so I'll go ahead and take a damage on Beat Cop and do that damage to him. The final guest. If it isn't our final guest, the doorman announces. Miss Devine, your presence here has been long awaited. The creature slithers up to the side of the palace. You swear you've seen the symbol on her amulet before. Wait, that can't be right. Well, now the real party can begin, it roars. Spawn the set-aside beast of alderman enemy at the palace of the king. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. So he's back. How hard do you hit? 2 and 1. And you don't do anything else. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just move. Fermenty Fan. And then I'll actually spend the last 2 clues to, or last 2 actions to go ahead and get rid of this card as planned. Alright. Whew. Alright, we made this progress so far. Enemy phase, this guy will come unexhausted. And then upkeep. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that was after I shuffled. Okay, shuffle this. Doom. Alright, I cannot, Madness dies. I cannot forget Carcosa. Where the black stars hang in the heavens, where the shadows of the men's thoughts lengthen in the afternoon, when the twin suns sink into the lake of Halley, and my mind will bear forever the memory of the pallid mask. He who shall not be named gets to fight, and then cannot be defeated unless investigators know the secret. Okay, I do have 3 horror, so I will take 1. Frozen in Fear. Reveal the location with the most clues. I'll be, it's actually down here. You get a clue on him at least. That's actually kind of nice. Alright. So, you only hit for 1 damage. That's fine. So he won't follow you. And as long as I'm taking a fight action, the movement, I won't suffer anything from this. So, I mean, I might still end up just doing an evasion through Pendant and the Queen anyway, just to buy yourself some time. So, in any case, let's go ahead and do this. So I can supposedly do the same power multiple times. I need to look up Ancient Power and Script Weaver though. Okay, so Script Weaver has to be 2 different ones, but I can do I can spin 3 charges on the same action to essentially get, 3 powers and 3 whatevers. 3 powers is not going to be enough though. So what we're gonna do, kind of seeing how things are going to look here. How hard do you hit? It's 2 and 1. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and pop the runic axe here. We're going to spend we can do 2 inscriptions. We'll do hunt and power. Yeah, I'll do that. So that's going to put me at 6-3 for this first attack. Alright, well, we were due for 1. Use another charge. This time it will just be power and accuracy. Alright, success. We do 2 damage. Yeah, we're not going to be able to evade him. Alright, third action. I'm actually going to go ahead and just do power and accuracy. Or, sorry, I'm going to do glory and power on Fanatic. We should be good to go. Yep, we're good to go. We'll take it. I'll heal a horror. No, I will heal a damage. No, actually, I'll heal a horror. That's actually useful. I will get the clue from here. And kill this man. Also, he should have been engaged with me, so I should have gained a resource. Okay, that was all of that. let's go ahead and not much I can do about this. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this. And exhaust him. Or sorry, evade him rather. These get shuffled back in. I am going to go ahead and spend an action to draw a card. Yeah, I'll spend an action to draw a card. Okay. I can work with that. And then I'm going to go ahead and spend an action to Earthly Serenity. So I'm 4-1. We'll make it 6-1. All right, so 6-1 goes to 3-1. So I beat it by 2, so I can heal 2 damage and horror from an investigator at your location. I'm going to go ahead and heal 2 horror for 2 charges. Okay, a little bit of breathing room. I'm going to go ahead and do. Oh, also I draw a card because of guts. Then. And then I'm going to go ahead and do Frozen in Fear, and I'll go ahead and pop another Guts. 6-3. We succeed. Get rid of that. Draw a card. Okay. We got 2 of the segments again. We're getting there. It is going to be more expensive because I need to get the clasp out first, but that's okay. Alright. Enemy phase. You'll eventually unexhaust. This guy's going to hit for 2 and 1. 2. And... oh, actually, all of it has to be put on one person. How do I want to do this? How is this worded? You must assign as much damage and horror as possible to a single card before assigning it to another card. Okay, I will do something worth fighting for, and then take 2 damage. Okay, because you can't take damage on the something worth fighting for, so I can ensure that doesn't happen. Okay, upkeep. Good luck. Okay, we can work with that. Alright, so I gotta go find a Cursed Fate. Take 2 horror, and then record that the hour is nigh. If this has already been recorded, remove Cursed Effect, protect enemy deck, then blah blah blah. So we're going to place this on the bottom of our deck. Okay, so it's not what I thought it was, but and then remove this from the deck. This gets put on top. And whatever I do, I better not shuffle that. Okay. That is all of that. Mythos. Doom. Doom. Surge. If you have no remaining sanity, place 2 Doom on the current agenda. This effect can cause the current agenda to advance. Okay? So, this is the final act. Alright. Cannot play events. That is fine. I only have 1 event. That is not fine. Spend 5 resources to discard this. Torturous. Same situation. If you have twice as much sanity, it can kill you. Good to know. Alright. Let's get to work. I am kind of running out of juice here. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to evade He Who Shall Not Be Named. Actually, yeah. He Who Shall Not Be Named, I'm going to evade. I'm going to use Gumption. Oh, yeah, I'll use Gumption and Shortcut. So I'm 3-1, and I'm going to go ahead and use my ability to make it 4-1. Alright, he's evaded. All right, so far so good. I'm going to spend an action to move, and then I'm going to spend an action to punch using one of these things. All right, 6, 2, 3. All right, that matches it. Yeah, it's only him that gets the +2 fight. He's right now 5 fight. All right, but hit this guy. He's only 3 fight, and I went 6, and that's -3, right? Right. Okay. I hit him for 3 damage, so he's down to 2, I think. Yep, down to 2. All right, that is all of her actions. Goes to Zoe. Zoe is going to go ahead and do power plus glory, and this will be 6 to 3. Yep, you have sanity, so you're good to go. In fact, I'll go ahead and heal sanity thanks to killing this thing. And you go away. Okay, now we just got to get all the clues off of this thing before we die. Alright, I'm going to I'm going to gain a resource. Yeah, it's too risky to draw cards now. I'm going to gain a resource, and then my last action, I'm going to gain another resource. It's also too risky for me to do the other options, right? Yep, too risky. So, gain another resource. Boom. Okay. Enemy phase, you're going to unexhaust. Upkeep. Okay. Alright. I'm not too concerned about this. Alright, it's going to be furthest away from us. We'll put him over here, because we can. Okay. Alright, next. Mythos. 3 to 9 here. Fantic. Location with the most clues, which is this one. Dissonant voices, can't play anything. Got it. And this thing counts as... Oh, it just discards it. Okay. I can live with that. Alright. Okay, we'll start with Zoe first. We'll go ahead and spend 6 resources in an action to discard this. Then I'm going to attack. I'm going to go ahead and hunt. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a damage on the beat cop to do 1 damage to this guy, and then I'm going to hunt in glory. That's what I'll do. So I'll auto engage, and then attack. So we're now 6 to 3. What's that do? Reveal no token. Okay. Good to go. He dies. We get the clue from it. And I'll have you heal I'll have you heal a horror. Okay. I have 1 action remaining. I'm going to go ahead and just use that to gain a resource. Okay. Min, you have work to do. And unfortunately, this guy's going to come say hi to this, but I'm going to have to deal with it. We have 4 clues remaining, and we're currently 4 to 2. I can't play events. That's fine. Everything else about this is actually kind of okay. All right, investigate. 4 to 2. But if I fail, I could potentially put clues back down. But there's not much I can do about it. I'll commit an analytical mind for this first one. Passes. Sorry, that was going to be the second one. Passes. So I've gotten 2 clues. So we made progress. 4 to 2. Passes. Yeah, because these are all -2s. Yep. 1 clue remains. Okay. Enemy phase. He's going to lumber in and hit us both for 2 sanity. I'll put this on the laboratory assistant, and you'll put this on something worth fighting for. This will get discarded. Upkeep. Upkeep. Not now. Actually, this is not too bad. We can make this work. Mythos, 4. We're 4 to 9 now. I don't know what's going to happen. We are running out of time. Cannot trigger lightning bolt abilities. That is fine. You. Surge. Okay. It's just going to be a surge, so you don't lose an action this time. Prey, most clues. Okay, well, it's just going to spawn on you. Have I been spawning this guy wrong? No, he got spawned from other... No, most clues, huh? That's weird. Maybe I got him mixed up with somebody else. Yeah, I might have messed up the Agent of the King thing. That is going to annoy me. But it is what it is. Because usually I would try to hunt him down anyway. Alright, in that case... Yeah, I think there was some situation where I had him spawn in the location with the most clues rather than the prey. Alright, well, he drew it, so he's going to get it. And let's get things started. First things first. Let's go ahead and fight the worst nightmare. 6 to 2. We succeed, he is dead. Next, I'm going to evade this guy. Yeah, I can do. I can't play events, but I can still do the other things. And unfortunately, I don't think I have much choice. I think I'm going to have to commit some stuff. So we're going to commit the segments of Onyx and use our ability. So that's going to get us up to 5 to 3. Just barely. All right, we evaded them. All right, last action, investigate. We're 4 to 2. We'll go ahead and make it 5 to 2. We succeed, we get the clue here. Now it flips. He who shall not names end. You stand before the palace of the king. He who shall not names incessant whispering fills your mind. You find it difficult to block its poisonous words from your thoughts. Seeing the palace in all its spectacle and glory, the memories come floating back to you. The stranger, the king. Act 2. The doors to the palace open. Remember that you know the secret. Flip this card back over. For the remainder of the game, it cannot be flipped over again. Alright, so now we know his secret, and now we can murder him. But I need to deal with this guy first. So, I'm going to do accuracy and power, which will be 8 to 4. Alright, 2 damage. Again, 8 to 4. Actually, we'll do glory as well, and then I'll put in overpower. So 8 to 4. We succeeded. Kills him. He'll be in the victory, and I'm going to have him recover a horror. And we also draw a card. Okay, Wolf Mask. So that was my second action. Third action, I'm going to play the Wolf Mask. Get that on the field. Okay. We're getting there. We're running out of time. Let's see. Enemy phase. He's going to unexhaust eventually. Upkeep. Upkeep. Mythos. Draw. Discard cards from your hand or play area. X is the amount of horror on your investigator. It's 2 now. So I will just discard the Dream Diary. You. Writing remains. 4 to 3? Yeah, 4 to 3. We're going to take 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, not much I can do about that. Okay, we need to do 8 damage to this guy. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to evade him. So 4 to 3. We'll make it 5 to 3. Min will use her ability to make it 6 to 3. We succeed. He's evaded. Next, I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, also, I got engaged. I should have gained a resource. I'm going to go ahead and use that resource to play Beat Cop, and then I'm going to use its Lightning Bolt ability to do 1 damage to him. We're at 11. Okay, next I'm going to attack him. I'll use the last charge on this. It's going to be accuracy and power. So I am 9 to 5. I succeed. I do 2 damage. Alright, Min's going to go next. I'm going to spend 2 resources to get out Strange Solution. It costs 1 extra because of class. I can play assets. I'm going to go ahead and use the last charge of one of my things and attack. I am 6 to 5. Not much else I can do about it, so 6 to 5. Unfortunately, it's a fail. 6 to 5 again. Fail. Alright. We're doing what we can. Upkeep, you'll unexhaust. Alright, Stuper's in play, but that's okay. We don't actually need to investigate anymore. And Flesh Ward if we need it. Mythos, we're up to 6. If you have horror on you, blah, 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 you may commit this card to a skill test at your location. The test automatically fails. Got it. Most horror, which is you. You'll get an offering back. Okay. We'll start with... I'm going to go ahead and attack, and then I'm just going to commit the traitorous to make it fail. And then I'm going to commit and use the Strange Solution. 6 to 5. I'm going to go ahead and commit the Runic Axe. And I'll have Min's ability help with that. So it becomes 8 to 5. Success, does 3 damage. Last charge. No go. Alright. Alright. All we got left is to try to kill this guy. I'm going to go ahead and spend the last charge. We're going to go with accuracy. We're going to go power and accuracy. So that's going to be 9 to 5. We succeed. We do 2 damage, and that is 18. We know the secret, so we do defeat him. Alright. Oh yeah, when we flipped this, we should have got rid of all the clues, by the way. Not that it mattered that much. Okay. Here he goes. Advances. Finn. A chorus of cries echo throughout your mind. Chaotic organ chords torture your ears. You fall to your knees and blood drips from your eyes. The realm of Carcosa shatters into millions of pieces and fades into the empty void of space. Curtain falls. This was Lord of Carcosa, so we do Resolution 3. Alright. Resolution 3. When you awaken, you are sitting in the Chor Gothique of Mont Saint Michel's Abbey. No rain pelts the glass of the windows above, and you hear no thunder, nor the screeching of winged horrors overhead. Somehow you have escaped. You creep to the door of the abbey and open it with trepidation. A dazzling light sears your eyes, and you lift your hand to block the glare of the sun. You stand overlooking beautiful Saint Michel. Seagulls fly over the abbey under a backdrop of cloudless skies. The waters around the abbey are calm and azure blue. I've been looking all over for you. You hear a voice exclaim behind you. You turn with a startle. For a moment, you expect to see the strange and the stranger in his pallid mask, but instead the boat captain you'd hired to take you to Mont St. Mitchell stands at the edge of the steps, smiling at you. Are you ready to head out? Record. The investigators prevented he who shall not be named from escaping his prison. Record the names of each investigator who entered the game with at least one copy of Possession Treachery in their hand. I believe it's nobody. Yeah, these are whispers in your head. All right. Each investigator suffers 2 physical trauma as they never fully recover from their time spent in Carcosa, the realm of madness. Each investigator earns experience and then another 5 for learning the truth behind the King in Yellow. We win the campaign. And then down here, there's an epilogue. Read only if the investigators won the campaign. Check the campaign log if at least one investigator was possessed. Only those investigators read the epilogue. Do not read it out loud unless all investigators were possessed. So we won't read it, but it's supposedly a stinger. So there we go. 2 physical, 2 physical. God, this campaign had some ups and downs. I'm a little concerned about the Agent of the King because I'm pretty sure I did some mistakes with that, but I think it was mostly to my detriment in most cases because I usually was trying to hunt him down to kill him anyway. Because there's a lot of those cultists that are like, I'll spawn where there's the most clues and things like that. But I think everything else I did was pretty legit, so hopefully that went good. I'm a little annoyed I still could not do anything about Phantom of Truth. It wrecked me just as hard as it did before. Granted, I went in with kind of the same situation as before where I didn't have anyone that can evade. It's more that scenario, if you don't know what's coming, pretty much what you have to do is you would have to... What do you do? You need to take advantage of the fact that you're going to get Doom on the agenda first. As long as you don't get 3 Doom on it, you won't get punished. So the goal is to get 3 Doom or 2 Doom and then advance it. And at that point, that would have been 2 or 3 rounds worth of actions gone through, prep, and possibly getting clues. And then you'll be at least somewhat ready for what's coming, or at the very least, you'll know that there's a bunch of monsters around you that you need to deal with first. But yeah. I didn't have an the other thing is just having someone that actually has an innate evade stat that can help too. There was also a lot of foot tests on a lot of the encounter cards that were definitely pretty difficult to deal with. Besides that, like I said, there were some definitely ups and downs. The first scenario was very, very painful, both rules-wise and just kind of pressure-wise. It's very much you are trying to do your best to get as much experience as possible before dying or before getting out. Now, if you're not as greedy as I was, it is actually relatively easy. And then the other ones weren't too bad. The third scenario, it feels like we got punished in that one for going too fast. That was the one with the museum or whatever. Because I believe if you let the agenda actually advance, it actually spawns something that has victory, and then you can just start beating him up, and that would get you a bunch of points. Unspeakable Oath, I think we did pretty well with. I think there was only the only thing we didn't really do is stick around long enough to see what monsters spawn. We got some of them to spawn, but not that many. Granted, some of the monsters that could also spawn in Unspeakable Oath can be things like literally the Beast of Alberon, so it can be very, very difficult if you're not careful. Besides that, Black Stars Rise, I definitely was feeling the pressure. If I hadn't changed my mind on where to spawn the cultist, that would have been definitely a loss. And I'm pretty sure if you lose Black Stars Rise, you just game over and you don't get Sim Carcosa. But yeah, it's definitely as hectic and painful as I remember, even on easy. It's just that this particular the encounter cards you deal with this are very high pressure. They do a lot of damage, a lot of horror. They can make you lose actions. Some of them literally have no checks involved. They just make you try to reset your progress by setting clues down. And it just kind of builds and builds until you just can't do anything anymore. The hidden cards weren't too bad. That's mostly because the tempo was pretty good in this team. Honestly, constantly spinning double actions to try to fix yourself can be kind of painful. The nice thing about Min, though, is until I was getting things like the Pendant and the Queen out, some of these whispers in your head actually didn't do anything to her. I didn't rely that much on events or lightning bolt abilities. and I also didn't really rely that much on assets, and that definitely gave her a lot of flexibility. Things like straitjacket and all that just didn't really do much to her, which was really nice. Um, the biggest detriment for this particular team wasn't necessarily the build themselves. It was actually the it was the weaknesses they drew. Overzealous can be very swingy. It really depends on what you end up drawing from the encounter deck. And like in previous scenarios, this wouldn't be too bad. With Diana, the Double D team, Diana and Daisy, and was it Dunwich? I would have answers for most of these things that spawn, that get drawn, because I had Diana to kind of manipulate the deck anyway with cancels. It can be kind of hectic for the team that I did with Knight of the Zealot, just simply because they were not exactly the most high power team. But this particular campaign, like I said, the counter cards were very, very harsh and can definitely set you back. And just drawing these constantly just definitely wore down men. And since this deck relied heavily on cycling through your deck, it was guaranteed. It was guaranteed that Min was going to draw her weaknesses. Every scenario, I believe I drew just about every weakness. This one was an exception. And you can see in the rest of the deck, I already had, 2 weaknesses waiting for me. Yeah, so it was pretty brutal. Speaking of brutal, Doom was one thing. Getting Doom late was pretty safe, but this guy, I mentioned before in the other videos where I was messing up rules and restarting because of the messed up rules. Majority of those mess ups also involved this guy. Like, I drew this guy early. Like, I ended up drawing him like literally first upkeep a few times, or even first draw because of like overpower or something. And in the first scenario, I didn't have, the extra damage stuff, so I had to literally just spend 3 rounds trying to punch the thing to death using men. It is only 2 and 2. The good thing that Zoe has to deal with this thing was the wolf mask, at least on easy difficulty. On higher difficulties, you might still have trouble with this, because in the easy difficulties we had, it was only -2s for a lot of the tokens. So I ended up in situations where I was just trying to stall this thing with evasions while waiting for Min to finish, getting her clues and heading over to the other side to go and beat this thing up. But as you saw, there was also the wombo combo where I was like, I was going to go deal with an enemy. It didn't go as planned, and then I spawned this guy, and then they all hit me, and that's it. Having this on a thug is just the worst. Thankfully, this team having both, full will and definitely helped with dealing with things like Lost Soul, which was kind of nice. Beyond that, the only other thing I would say as far as build-wise for this particular duo is they do both still lack a foot stat. I kind of made up for it with the Wolf Mask or using a few wild cards. As mentioned before, there was definitely cards I definitely removed from the deck for men. I ended up removing the Dream Diary. I thought Dream Diary would be a good call because you constantly get this Essence of Dream out, but tempo-wise, like having to wait for this to get in my hand every round ended up just being kind of a pain. Also, since King of the Yellow takes a hand slot anyway, I had to pick between that and the Magnifying Glass. And honestly, at this point, I kind of wish I had kept the Magnifying Glass. As for what I would replace the Dream Diary with, I would actually replace it with the what's it called? Dream Enhancing Serum. That card is an arcane slot, and what it does is while it's in play, any duplicates in your hand will just count as 1 card instead of the pair being 2. And anytime you draw a card that is a duplicate in your hand, if you have that same card already in your hand, you can actually exhaust it to draw another card. So since I have a lot of pairs in this deck and I cycle through it so fast, I think the serum would actually be a good play. It does take an action to play, and it does take 3 resources. But once you get it out, you can then cycle through your deck even faster. I do like the Pendant of the Queen. I'm glad I actually got to use it this time. I didn't get to use it with Ursula. This deck can definitely make it happen. I definitely understand why they tabooed this, because you can definitely manipulate the deck so you can draw these again. That being said, they're not the most crazy powerful things. Like the big thing is, yes, you can get a clue. Yes, you can automatically evade. Yes, you can teleport. But you can only do one of those things, and you can only do it once per round, unless you have some way to unexhaust your relic, which in this case we don't. Um, Still, is fun. I liked it. The other cards, of course, I mentioned that one skill, that skill card that only works if you are two below the skill difficulty. I every time Min was in a situation where she was had a poor skill to clash against a test, it was always by one. It was never by. It was almost never by two. And that ended up just making it so it was just a dead card in my hand. Um, I don't remember. I think I replaced them with just unexpected courages, which are just two wilds. The unexpected courages will also give a little bit more flexibility as far as just having more wild symbols to deal with the king in yellow and deal with that. King in yellow honestly wasn't too bad. Obviously, it can be detrimental if you don't have a way of getting rid of it. Really, the big thing, stressful thing for me was just remembering I had it and to actually know I can't put one or two skills into a test. Besides that, I definitely like getting the cryptic researches out. The other skill cards, I do like the fact that it kind of flexes. I do like having the strange solutions. And then the shortcuts were always good. They always came in pretty clutch. The laboratory assistants were great for soaking and getting cards. I did like the red versions of these various skill cards, like the sharp vision and the was it brute force. I liked those a lot. The true understanding honestly wasn't too bad. It's just the fact I'm an idiot and never remembered to use them. Every opportunity that I had a chance to actually do a skill while I had clues in my location, I should be popping this and then using her ability to make it better. That would have helped with tempo, especially when I was suffering from stupor. I'm definitely glad I did grab the Earthly Serenity, but funny enough, the moment I swapped that card out for Earthly Serenity, I didn't draw stupor until I didn't need it. Granted, we only had like a couple of sessions with stupor, but man, this card could have been really dangerous tempo wise. We almost didn't make it through Black Star's Rise because of that, because we just couldn't get the clues in time. As for Zoe herself, as I mentioned, I tend to play Zoe out quite a bit, but this deck was a little bit different. This is my first time doing Down the Rabbit Hole with her. I think it went really well. Being able Runic Axe went really well. My biggest concern, of course, was the fact I only have 4 weapons, but unlike Diana, I for some reason was able to get my weapons rather often. And also having that 4 fist also made it so even whatever weapon I get, I could use it. Safeguard was really good. Wolf Mask is amazing. Definitely don't sleep on this. Like even if you already have decent fist, getting decent foot for those encounter cards, or just having just being able to evade something you can't handle at the time, is pretty amazing. Flesh Ward, some people have said this is kind of meh. It's not too bad. Obviously, if you get blitzed with a lot of damage at once, it shuts down pretty hard because you can only cancel 1 damage at a time and there's 4 charges, so essentially it functions across 4 rounds of being hit. But it still helped. It did something at least. And it also in itself also is a 1/1 soak as well. Can't say much about B-Cops. It gave me more punch that I don't think I need it too badly, but it was nice to have. And also just having that, once you upgrade them, they become so much better. Able to just do damage to things is just, as a lightning bolt, is just ridiculously good. Runic Axe, I think, was overall pretty good. It was kind of 50-50, of course, whether or not I get Runic Axe or got the Enchanted Blades. But for the most part, the Enchanted Blades did their job. Upgraded Enchanted Blade is amazing. Being able to heal myself for horror or damage definitely made Zoe keep in the fight, even though we were suffering so much trauma. I mean, having three mental trauma with only 6 sanity to begin with is just devastating. I was really concerned about whether or not we will be able to pull through. But the moment I killed an enemy with the runic, with one of these enchanted blades, and got my sanity back down, my horde back down to 5, I was back in the game at that point. I didn't have to worry about the skulls anymore. It was really nice. Let me handle this. It helped a few times. I understand why it can be very good, and for some reason, there's just I just never find myself in opportunities to be able to use this as often as I like. I think... Do we have more than one of these in the deck? Because if we have more than one of these in the deck, I think I would take one of them out. As for the splash guards, obviously the down the rabbit hole was very useful. It wasn't very useful on the first session because I dove straight into getting stick to the plan, which definitely was a good call. Stick to the plan, as long as you have good tactics to work with it, it kind of just falls into place really nicely. The prepared for the worst, unfortunately, I never had many opportunities to use it, simply because I actually always started with some sort of weapon in my hand. So it just never did what I had never needed it for its job. But the 1-2 punch and then the upgraded 1-2 punch as a tactic, just locked and loaded in your stick to the plan, is just amazing. And of course, having just that emergency cache is on top of that. The only reason the emergency cache was not as favorable in this one was simply because there was always that risk that I would draw the worst nightmare from the draw, and that would, devastate me. But 1-2 punch and the upgraded form, you saw it. Like, whenever I found a big monster, I could be just like, okay, I'm just going to end you with a 1-2 punch off the stick to the plan, or just the other one that's level 0. Yeah, like I said, I really like playing Zoe. I like having the high will stat and a reasonably high fist stat. The other splash cards, of course, the stunning blows were they're just great. Stunning blow allowed me to be like, okay, maybe I need that little extra punch, or just, you know what, there's too many enemies, or an enemy that's too hard to defeat right now, I can just evade them on my own just by punching them hard enough. The only other thing I'm checking is, where were my other splash cards? I thought I had others. Oh, that's right, Spectral Razors. Surprisingly, so Spectral Razors it's an amazing spell, but I ended up not really needing it on Zoe. Generally, the best thing about using them is to use them to attack aloof enemies. And of course, it's a spell, so you can also deal with Ghost. But the Runic Axe kind of filled that role anyway, and honestly, this ended up just being kind of in my hand in most cases. And a lot of the enemies I ended up wanting, the big enemies I would want to use this on, end up being elite, and I end up doing less damage to them. Having a card that can do 3 damage is very nice, because there's definitely been a lot of situations where they have 3 health, which tends to put you in a bad spot as far as like most firearm weapons and base level weapons that do +1 damage, because it ends up costing you 2 actions and 2 ammo possibly. I may consider replacing the Spectral Razors. I don't know what I'll replace it with. There's a few options. I could go more red cards and get Longshot to get even more damage just from a skill commit. There's one card I used to have in a Zoe deck was Scout Ahead, which lets you move 3 times for an action, which is pretty nice. So that's something I'm probably going to be considering, is replacing the Spectral Razor with something else. It's good, but I usually always had my weapons or some way to deal with the enemies I was already fighting. So it is what it is. Anyway, I've been rambling for quite a while, so this is I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I'm probably going to take a little bit of a break, but for you guys, you'll probably not notice it because I'm so far ahead in videos. The next one is going to be Forgotten Age. From this point on, I have not completed, as of recording this, I have not completed any of the other ones. I've done the first 2 scenarios of Forgotten Age. I've done the first one and I've attempted the second one of Forgotten Age. I've dabbled with the first 2 scenarios of Intimate's Conspiracy a few times. I've never done Dream Eaters, Edge of the Earth, Scarlet Keys, and Feast of Hemlock Vale. And currently I have been doing Circle Undone, and I believe I've done the first 3, 4, if you count the Zero campaign, with my board game group. So Forgotten Age is going to be mostly blind, but I do know kind of what the first jungle stuff is like, and it's going to be crazy. As for who I'm going to be taking, I'm still kind of figuring that out. It might be Trish. I may consider Rita, but at the very least, I'm going to have one character that can definitely evade, and then somebody else, but I'm not sure who yet. But until then, I am the Depressed Viewer. This was Arkham Horror, the card game, Path of Carcosa, Dim Carcosa, and I'll see you guys next time. And don't say his name.